I think in day-to-day life, we don't use as many idioms as people think. We do have some that we use very frequently, and
Mhm.
maybe people aren't even aware that they're using them. But certainly in IELTS, you have to use them more than you would in a normal conversation. I
Yes.
think that idioms are interesting in different languages because they can reveal something about the culture. Oh,
Hi.
hi there. Sorry, I'm a bit late. Thank you for waiting.
Yeah, I was thinking that why tutor is not coming.
No, I'm here. It was taking a little while to connect our call, but it should be okay.
Okay.
Hey, is it okay now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, my name is CJ. I'm 29 years old, and I'm a full-time English teacher from the UK.
Okay.
Can you tell me about yourself?
Yes. I'm Sadhna Ganjir. I am from central part of India. My state is Chhattisgarh, and I myself am a soft skills trainer and English communication trainer here in India. So I have a YouTube channel also, Letter Better, where I train students. And I've been on YouTube for the last 2 years since the time of pandemic.
Oh,
And
okay,
yes,
nice. So how can I help you today?
actually, I took this session or booked this session just to let my students know the importance of conversation.
Hmm,
So
okay.
I just wanted to show them that the more you do the conversation in English, the more fluent you become. So that's why I booked the session. And as you have mentioned that you are an IELTS expert also.
That's right. Yeah, I've got about 6 years experience teaching IELTS, mostly teaching speaking, but also teach the other skills as well. But on Cambly, I focus on speaking because I think that's the best for this platform.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So that's
Yeah,
why I wanted to have some tips from you also related to
sure.
IELTS.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, okay. So just some general tips, or is there anything specific you'd like to know about?
Actually, here in India, the band varies, from seven to
Mm.
nine. So they want the seven band. So that's the ideal. And
Yeah.
yes, so of course, and they get scholarships also if they get a higher band also. So here the problem is that they want the higher band, and most of the people or most of the students find difficulty to get that band, reach that band.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
what do you think? Like, I have a specific question. Like, is it important to speak in British or American accent or neutral accent will do? Like, what do you think about it?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it's a question that I've been asked a lot. And actually, having a British or American accent is not important.
Okay.
I've seen students get an 8 or 8.5, and even 9 with a neutral accent. So, as long as your pronunciation is clear and the examiner can understand what you're saying, and as long as your accent isn't so strong that you are changing sounds so much that they can't be understood, it's absolutely fine to have a neutral accent. I think that some people try to have a British or American accent, but it actually can make their pronunciation more unclear
Yes.
because they're not using their accent in a correct way. So yeah, if students do want to learn an accent, I think that's great. That's totally fine, but it's not necessary for getting a high score in IELTS.
Okay. So, is it so difficult to get that British or American accent? Because you can see myself also, like I have a neutral accent, Indian accent, you can see. So, I never tried to, learn British or American because I never felt the need. But here,
Mm.
students, run after British or American accent. So, how long does a student take to, get that accent, or how can they learn the British or American if they want? So, I just want
Yeah.
some suggestions from you.
Yeah. So, well, firstly, for how long it takes, it's kind of impossible to say because it depends how much time they put into practice. I would say many hours of practice to get that accent because with lots of students they have to. unlearn the pronunciation they already have. So if they've got a neutral accent like yourself, they have to try and learn all the new sounds, right? But if they're starting from the beginning and just learning, they have no English, they are a complete beginner.
Okay.
Then it might be a bit easier for them to learn the accent because they don't have any English to start with, so they can build up their accent from the beginning. So it's difficult to say how long it would take. And I think that yeah, the best way to try and learn the accent is first by identifying the big sounds that are used frequently in that accent. So I think vowel sounds are the best place to start. For example, like the ah and ah sound.
Yeah.
Like in American English, you would say bath, like bath, bath, but in my accent, it would be bath,
Yeah.
bath. So trying to identify those big sounds to start with, practicing those ones, and then going after that, when you're more comfortable with those big vowel sounds, you can move into the more complicated things and the more advanced features of the accent. So I think it's you start off slow with the big frequent sounds, and then with more practice, you focus on the more difficult pronunciation.
Okay, that's a great suggestion because here people run after, these kind of accents, and I know that they may be there may be need of those accents, but some people just imitate and they sound very fake, very unreal. So I
Yeah,
always,
yeah,
yes, tell them that first try to be fluent and try to grasp that language, get a hold on that language, and then you can choose whatever accent you want or
yeah, exactly. And yeah, because like even with native speakers and speakers of any language, like if you move to a different place, you will probably pick up that accent, and your own accent will change slightly, and that takes months and even years to happen.
yes, of
So I
course.
think that trying to learn the accent, it can be quite hard because yeah, you're sort of forcing that. But if you move, I know not everyone can do this, of course, but if you can move to an English speaking country, you'll probably pick up the accent quite quickly and just in a natural way from being surrounded by people who speak like that. So that is a great way to learn an accent by moving abroad, but of course not everyone can do that.
Yeah, it's not possible for everyone to move
Yeah,
abroad and
for sure.
be surrounded in that with that environment. So that's why. And I have one more question. Like, why do natives use so much of idioms and phrasal verbs? Because here in India, we find so much, difficult to learn that phrasal verbs, and
Mm,
students say that it's very difficult to move from normal verb to phrasal verb. And
mm.
is there any particular, like, is it connected to a culture, or what do you say? Like,
Yeah, that's a good question because when I'm giving advice about IELTS, I always tell my students who are they're trying to get 7 or 8 or increase their score to those high levels. I always tell them about idioms and phrasal verbs,
yes,
because in IELTS they are absolutely key in the vocabulary score. But I think in day to day life, we don't use as many idioms as people think.
yes.
We do have some that we use very frequently, and
Mhm.
maybe people aren't even aware that they're using them. But certainly in IELTS, you have to use them more than you would in a normal conversation. But I think it is probably a cultural thing. I
Yes,
think that idioms are interesting in different languages because they can reveal something about the culture. Like if you've got idioms about food or weather, then it shows what people from that country talk about. And idioms can be quite funny as well, so you can learn
yes,
about the humor of a country. So yeah, I'd say that idioms are very culturally linked,
yes.
but all I would guess that all languages have some kind of idiom, so you can definitely learn about the culture and the country
Yes,
through
we
them.
do have in India also, we use idioms, but not very often. We
Mm.
just speak simple Hindi. Hindi is our
Yeah,
mother tongue. So,
Yeah,
so you're saying that in IELTS it's important to use phrasal verbs and idioms to get that score or get a high band. So, is it
yeah.
important?
Yeah, I'd say very important. Yeah,
Okay.
because when someone uses idioms and phrasal verbs, it immediately makes them sound more like a native speaker,
Okay.
because they can be a great example of advanced vocabulary. So I'd say they're very important for anyone trying to get above a band six and trying to even move their score from band seven to eight, and
Okay.
move up like that. Then they're very important. Yeah.
Okay. So, as I am from India, so have you ever visited India? It's just a normal question that I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I haven't, unfortunately. No, my mother and my sister visited India a few years ago for a holiday, before COVID, but I haven't been. So hopefully one day I'll be able to visit.
Yeah, yeah. We are inviting you to India. It's a beautiful place, and you must have heard about Taj Mahal, the seven wonders, one of the seven wonders it was. So yeah,
Yes, of
do
course.
visit Taj Mahal and some other historical places are there, so you would love it.
Yeah, yeah. Like where would you recommend? Do you have like a top three places to visit in India?
Yeah, the Taj Mahal is at the top, and then Delhi, there are so many places, and yes, Rajasthan. It is the place of kings and queens. So there are so many beautiful palaces, castles. So yes, Rajasthan is a tourism hub, and I would recommend that you must visit. It's a wedding destination also. So many people like you must have heard about Priyanka, Nick Jonas. So
Yeah,
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 so
sure.
yeah, so they got married in palace in Rajasthan only. So they chose Rajasthan to get married.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a beautiful
It looks like a
place.
beautiful place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a
So,
beautiful place.
yeah. So, have you ever traveled outside of India?
Outside of India, no, 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 no. In India only. I was planning, but never got a chance. But yeah, in future I'm planning like
Yeah.
some
Right.
mountainous areas or beaches. Because
Nice.
there's so many places in India only that we, travel in India only, and there are so many places left in India to be visited. So that's why I haven't planned to go outside. But yes, definitely I will visit because you get to know different cultures, different places, and how, it is different, how our country is different from others. So it's good to travel and experience, explore. So yes, I would definitely love to do some time in future.
Yeah, yeah. And India is such a big country, right? So you've got
Yeah,
so many
it's
places to go. So, yeah, maybe it's not necessary to travel outside of there. Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't, roamed around India itself because there's so many beautiful places left to be visited. So that's why. But yes, I'll plan someday to visit
Yeah. Nice.
nearby, like India, the countries to nearby India.
Yeah. 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 Sure. I went to Nepal
Yeah, Nepal
um,
is good.
3 years ago, and that was really beautiful. But hopefully, I'll get a chance to go to India one day.
Yeah, definitely must visit because it's very near to Nepal, and Nepal is a land of Buddha, and India is also a land of Buddha.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and now the COVID situation is improving in most places. It's a bit easier to travel now, so
Yeah, it's a bit
that's good.
easier. And
Yeah.
yes, even vaccination certificate is not required these days in some places.
That's right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you
There's
have
not
just,
many restrictions anymore.
yeah, they have cut down the restrictions also.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're almost out of time. Do you have any more questions, or is there anything else I can help you with?
So how much time do we have? Like,
Just 1 minute. One
okay,
more
one
minute.
minute. So just I want you to just give some suggestions to my students to learn English and
Mm-hmm.
the simple suggestions, two or three.
Okay, yes. Well, my biggest piece of advice would be practice,
Yes,
and
yes.
this does not mean being perfect, because we have to practice and make mistakes and then learn from those mistakes. So just practice, even if you don't feel confident. Just go for
Yes.
it. Try your best, and then you make those mistakes and you can learn from them. So that's the most important thing to do. Try and practice. Practice speaking, your different skills, and also just surround yourself with English. So that's watching English speaking movies, listening to music, podcasts, YouTube, anything you can do to try and expose yourself to English will help you improve every day.
Yes, yes. This is the
Okay,
mantra I also give. Practice, practice, and practice. This is,
exactly.
they need to do.
Yeah,
Without hesitation, without fear of being mocked.
If you like this video, then share it to others. If you are new to our channel, do subscribe and press the bell icon. If you are on Instagram, then don't forget to follow our page. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy till we meet next time with a new and interesting lesson. Thank you so much.